can get started. We'll call the meeting to order.
Rachel. Here. Katie.
Here.
Sarah.
Here.
Doug.
Here.
Lori.
Here.
Carrie. Jeff.
Here.
All right, if everyone will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence for armed services and first responders. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right. Is there any items to be added or changed to the agenda?
Yes, the only update when we get to building updates, instead of Sean, it will be Rachel Olson presenting.
Okay. Awards and recognition, so some personnel, new hires. Looks like we have Lucas Ramsey and Christina Van Siever and Melissa Wall coming in to join our team. For resignations, we have Aaron Bloss and Daniel Dorrance. And then retirements, we have Heidi Weber and Leslie Girth. And then we have some exciting announcements. Do we have any of the new hires here this evening?
Not this evening, no.
Okay. Some MASB awards. So Lori Hewitt completed her level 1 board member certification. So congrats.
Thank you.
Very
Good job,
exciting.
Thank you.
And then Jeff Weber got a level 3 award, an award of distinction.
Boy,
So that's fancy.
well, I don't know, 25 cents, get you a cup of coffee maybe.
All right, we'll move on to building updates. So Carla.
Sure. You'll be seeing some data from the other schools in a few minutes about assessments. Our preschool assessment data doesn't come in until later on this spring, and of course, I'll present it to you then. But one thing that we did look up recently was how many students that attend Gaylord Community Schools preschool go on and attend Gaylord Community Schools. And so we did that for last year, and the number came up to 89%. And actually, there were 4 more students that repeated preschool, or else that number would have been over 90%. So we're really excited about that, and I think this year we're going to see that same trend. But that was some positive data, so I wanted to share that with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Diane.
Can I turn this one this way so the board can see this one? Okay.
Please.
Can you see that?
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
that's okay.
Okay, so I just have a couple slides to review, just some quick data from South Maple. This slide looks at our winter reading data, and the top bar is our growth. So it says that we are in the 65th percentile for growth, and this is all 4 grade levels in our building. So that's the whole building combined together. And then the bottom 2 bars measures the difference of achievement from the fall, which we were at the 40th percentile for achievement, and then in the winter, we were at the 53rd percentile for achievement. To note, we grew our blue and green kids by 13%, and then we reduced our red kids by 10% in reading. So we're moving in the right direction with our ELA data, so that's nice to see. Vanna?
Can I add really fast, just to clarify, this is NWA data, which is the nationally
sorry,
normed
yes,
test.
thank you.
And when you look at these numbers, so if you look at the growth and the achievement, this isn't a percent of a test. We didn't get 70% on it. What it means is our students have done as good or better than 70% of all kids across the country to take it. That's the best way to understand it. And then I'll let you understand explain the achievement, but it's the same with those percentages. It's not the percent we got on the test, it's how we compare to our peers.
I'm glad you're here, Dennis. Thank you.
Sorry.
And then in math, again, looking at those same metrics, we are in the 70th percentile for growth overall as a building. And then we started the year at the 43rd percentile for achievement, and then grew to 58%. So if you look at like the state and you line let's say 100 like kids up in our group, what's the achievement standard? We scored in the 58th percentile, so that means over half of our kids are where they should be. So that's great. Same thing here, we grew the green and the blue, and we reduced the red, which is what we ultimately like to see. I did tell my staff I would like to one day see all of those be green dots instead of yellow, so room to improve, but we're going in the right direction.
Good, thank you.
Will you do this assessment again in the fall?
Yes.
In the spring?
Yes.
So we'll.
So we'll have another data point to compare to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I could.
I didn't mean if I stole your thunder or not, but.
No, so, on here, so this is North Ohio, same information, and I know Mrs. Parker talked to you about the red, and so when we're talking about red, these would be students identified in the lowest percentile, right? So like in that 20th percentile. So students needing more support, than their peers in this area, right? So these would be kids that we would consider to be on grade level or moving in that very close trajectory. So at any rate, reading growth for North Ohio, you can see our growth, again, Mr. Peck explained that, is in the 65th percentile. Always positive to see that. Our achievement from fall to winter, and again, right, like we'll do this in the spring, we grew from the 41st percentile to the 55th percentile in our achievement numbers. And then, like Mrs. Parker talked about, looking at those students who are in the neediest percentiles, those at the 61st percentile and greater, so like the greens and the blues, grew by 11%. So we increased those kids at that grade level by 11%. And by doing that, we also help decrease those in those red zones, needing the most support by 13%. So a positive in the reading direction. And then who's our, is it Kate? Okay. And then our math, very similar, growth in the 64th percentile. In achievement from fall to winter grew from the 45th to the 56th percentile. And those in that 61st percentile and above, the greens and the blues, and greater, they grew by 13%. And those in the 40th percentile, so in math, we decreased those kids in the neediest population by 14%. So lots of positive things, everybody's working real hard. Carla's heading up. Sorry.
Perfect.
Same with GIS, very similar, 64th percentile, and we went from the 46th to the 54th. And what we're really focusing on this year is, like, we could, 19%, if you look in the yellow, are the kids that are really close to being proficient when you think about that proficiency rate that we talk about that correlates to M-STEP. So we're excited about that jump for our students. And then in math, we are, this is reading, yes. And then math, we're in the 62nd percentile, and we went from the 45th to the 52nd again. So we're making some good growth, and we're gonna continue to focus on moving, trying to move that needle the quickest to have proficiency jump quickly.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right, I'll piggyback on the positive data growth. All right, so I broke mine down by grade only because we have a couple different assessments that are given in each grade, so I think it makes sense to break it down that way. When we look at our ELA stuff, our 7th grade takes the reading test and our 8th grade takes the language usage test. So when we look at our growth for 7th grade reading, we're in the 69th percentile, and as Dennis stated, that's compared to the US, students across the US. So that's, I mean, we're pretty far up there. That means approximately only 30% of students in our country are doing better than us as far as growth. And then our, as far as the achievement, we started at the 59th percentile and grew to the 69th percentile, putting us way in the green in that area. And what you can see is a large shrinkage in our orange and red areas, right? And lots of growth actually from green, yellow to green, and then green to blue, which is awesome. We talk about language usage, very similar trend, right? We started, as far as the achievement, that was fairly steady, both in the 66th percentile. But we're also sitting in a really nice spot as far as growth in the 61st percentile for language usage. And then we can go into math. So math is also one of those scenarios. We give a couple different tests. We have a small group of 8th graders that are taking algebra, which is a high school level class. So I'll show that data in a minute. But this is all our students 7th and 8th grade that are being tested in K-12 math. So what we're seeing is we're in the 70th percentile as far as growth for 7th grade. And we moved from the 61st percentile, which was already very good, to the 67th. And that's awesome because usually the higher they are in the percentile range, the more difficult it is to show that growth. So the fact that we're already doing well and still continuing to show large amounts of growth is a big positive note. For our 8th grade, we went from the 43rd to the 49th percentile, so that's 7 percentile or 6 percentile points growth. And it's another situation where we are shrinking our, orange and red, and a lot of that for the 8th grade is moving into that yellow, which, as Carla kind of said, that's our target area right now. As far as the time period between now and testing, those most movable students are those ones that are in the yellow. What we'll look at going into next year when we're talking about specific interventions is the ones that fall into that orange and red, where we can target those students and try to get them caught up and close those achievement gaps. And then we'll move into algebra. So this one was really surprising because these are our students that are usually, really high on the growth scale and achievement scale already, and so typically you'd expect their growth to be smaller. One of the reasons for this also is this is a new test for them too, so they've never taken algebra before, so we expect that there may be large amounts of growth, but we started in a really, really good spot. We started in 77th percentile already, and we grew to the 87th percentile, but that puts us in the 90th percentile as far as growth compared to the country for our algebra students. So really, really impressive out of that group of students. That's what I got for right here.
It's awesome. Thanks, Corey. Rachel's up.
Yes, at the high school, mid-January, we switched semesters, so we're just looking at our failure rates. We compared it to the 24-25 school year, and we had an 11% decrease in our fail rate. And that is also adjusted for the change in non-enrollment. So we were really excited to see that, which then kind of means 2% decrease in our overall classes failed, and a total of 120 less classes failed as well. And then we also have 20 less students failing 3 or more classes. So really excited as we look at our failure rates. With the new semester, we also started some ARC peer-to-peer tutoring, so we're hoping that will continue to lessen our failure rate.
Perfect. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
All right. Public input. Do we have any public input tonight? No public input. All right, we're moving on to the consent agenda. We have our special board meeting or workshop minutes on there. So we have those proposed, and then also in the consent agenda is the treasurer's report. So we have the general fund and athletic fund bills in the amount of $4 million, just over there. Cafeteria fund bill in the amount of $121,000. Sinking fund bills in the amount of $81,000, and then the prior period adjustments is 0. So we would need a motion to approve that consent agenda.
I will motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Any questions? Okay.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Perfect. I know that there was, as next up on the agenda, the GCS reports. There was a policy and disciplinary committee meeting. I know that Carrie was the lead on that. She's not here tonight. So we can't say a lot about that one, and that's part of the new and unfinished business that kind of rolls over into the recommendation that it is recommended that the board approve the long-term suspension of a GMS student 1.2025-26 as presented.
I will make a motion to approve the long-term suspension of GMS student 1, 2025-2026.
I'll second.
Any questions? Can't really say a lot about it. It was in closed session, so confidentiality.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Okay. And then it is recommended that the board approve a long-term suspension of GMS student 2.2025-2026 as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the long-term suspension for student 2, 2025-2026.
I'll second.
Any questions on that? Again, we're keeping that closed session confidential for the student. Okay?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Do we have no staff introductions, right?
Correct.
I know I asked, but I'm just double checking. No public input, correct?
No public, in tonight's meeting, just so it was intentionally, we kept the agenda short. We have long nights tomorrow and the next night, so thought it'd be a good idea to keep the principal's presentations on the shorter side of time.
Sure.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.